You're on hand too. Sorry. Oh, welcome. We're calling the meeting to order exactly at 1 o'clock, and we're all set. Did everybody have a chance to read the minutes and catch up?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Do we accept
So
a
moved.
motion?
I'll make a motion.
And
I second it.
And vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. Okay, now we're going on to the report on the Council on Aging.
I have nothing to report except the volunteer appreciation luncheon went very well. We had about 50 people here and very, very nice affair.
Good.
And also the Halloween thing was very successful from what I understand. Not to do with the Council on Aging. But,
Which is good. Yeah.
nothing else.
So,
That's it.
That's it? Any other questions for?
No, thanks.
Okay, report from the Recreation
Yeah,
Department?
we're working on pickleball courts now. I guess the highway department removed the trees and did all of the base work, and I guess the contractors are coming in to start the project if they have not started already. That's basically one of the things. And of course, we have a parent group looking at the concerns of not having enough programs, recreation programs, so we're working on that with a subcommittee of parents as well.
Okay, that's good. Any questions for them? Okay, good. Now we're over to you, Carolyn, for old business.
Sure. One of the things at one of our last meetings is that I believe it was Van that asked if I had, I don't like to say wish list because I don't think they're a wish. I think they're a necessity. But I did include that as we are just getting started working on our budget. In fact, if you look at the agenda for the selectmen, you'll see that they're giving out the message for the budget. So I couldn't give you a budget until I get the message and direction on where to go. But the things that I'm looking at, the project list, is blinds, 4 rooms, 3, 4, 5, the center room and the multi-purpose room. We've already changed over some of the blinds in the public-facing rooms, the weight room and the game room, and things like that. The blinds are the original blinds that came with the building. A lot of them are broke, and if you have, I'm looking over there because you can see the blinds. If you have these blinds and they are broken, and someone tries to pull them down, you can actually cut yourself. So it's not just an aesthetic, it's truly a safety concern. So that's the blinds. They estimate those, it's about $2,000 a room. The multipurpose room is a little bit more expensive. So I don't know if we'll put in for all of those, but I just wanted to give you the things that I'm looking at. One of the things that I think would be wonderful to do and a necessity, I think that it would keep the longevity of this building, is if we took the building and closed it down for a very short period and had an extensive cleaning done to the building, including the vents, everything that needs to be done. You all know because you use the building, we are always cleaning around people. There is no time that the building is closed to just clean and getting in the ceilings and the tiles and those kind of things. So I was hoping that maybe we could coordinate it with when we're getting the new carpet so that we could do, even if we did a section at a time or something, but I would really like to see about getting that. I have some estimates out. I have not received those back, but I'll keep you informed on that.
How many days do you think you would need to
I also asked them, so I don't know. In my own head, it's a 2 to 3 day project.
I was thinking about like as a Saturday or Sunday, if they could work on a Sunday.
I don't know that they will, so I will keep, we want to do the least disruption to the public, always. But I think that this is some of the things we need to look at to keep the building in good shape. You need to take care of it.
When we close the building for holidays?
Most companies don't work on holidays, or you have to pay extreme price. So, yeah.
Is there a time when the building's less busy than others? Is that?
So I'll look through that. I really will. It truthfully might be some of the summertime. or just going into summer because people are outside more,
Yeah,
but I'll
yeah,
look into that. We keep some good numbers, and the software that we have
Yeah.
keeps numbers for us. I don't even know if that would come to fruition, but it is on my list of things,
yeah.
so.
Makes sense.
The lobby area furniture, it's important that we keep up with the furnishings in the buildings. We have a lot of people who utilize, and we have for years just used what was left or what we could get. And the safety of people is really what I'm looking at, and the cleanliness and things like that. If you look at some of the chairs, they're very soiled, and so it's important. We've had them cleaned with our machines. So the lobby furniture, and we are working with one of the companies just to get an idea of what it would cost to put chairs that could be wiped down, maybe not so much fabric. Fabric is not always a friend
That's
in a
hard,
building
yeah.
like this. So those, and then cameras, as you know, there are currently 16 cameras in the building. We need at least that many more. There are so many nooks and crannies and different rooms where people can't be seen. And we want to make sure that safety, that is what this is about. If somebody falls, if somebody gets hurt, if somebody is in an area, I will use, Reagan, she is here on Thursday and Friday nights, and there is someone else in the building, but on that wing of the building, sometimes she's just over there by herself. I don't want someone to come in and, so we need to make sure that we're keeping not only our employees, but certainly the public safe. So the cameras are an important step to that.
Do we have cameras that can see outside?
We have
I'm
cameras on
thinking
the
When people
walkways.
fall, I'm just saying, I heard one lady, she told me that she just fell when she finished walking, but she didn't tell you. And I said, you should have told Karen. She's okay. But I
Yes,
said,
they
you
do
should-
need to tell us.
You need to tell. You
We
should
do have
told.
cameras, so we can always look
Yeah.
back. Our cameras go to each of the main doors, and you can see some of the parking lot. But those are things we'd like to
Yeah.
extend
Some are on
to.
the back, Karen.
We have 2 cameras that are in the back, but
as
you
well.
can't see far back. So again, we're doing the best as we get the first set of cameras were purchased with a grant, so I'm looking at doing that again. I am trying to be as fiscally responsible, but safety is always on my radar. And then the monitors are what you see when you come into the building and you sign in for the weight room. You scan a card, you touch a screen. It's exactly the same system as the seniors use. And it would be wonderful if we could have them throughout the building so that you didn't have to go here to go to a class over here. So, and all that information could just feed right back to the front desk. We have technology, we should be using it better. So those are just some of the things. And the message for the budget is coming out on Monday night, so then I'll start working on it. So at our next meeting, I'll get you a draft of what I'm looking at for the overall budget.
So these will be included in your budget?
So depends on what the budget message says. If it says level funding, there's absolutely no room for this because, as you all know, a level funded budget actually means a cut because we
Yeah.
have some contractual things. So
Didn't they at one of the selectmen's meeting not too long ago that I was watching indicate they were gonna go from 2.5 down to 1%?
that was one of the messages, but I have not read. It is on the agenda, but I have not read the message yet. I don't know if it's even been published yet, so I'll wait to hear from them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good.
The birthday celebration and pricing guide, I know I've given it out before, but what we've typically done is I give it to you, you get to read it, take it home, and then if it's something you want to move forward with, we have some open meetings for the public, invite them in, see what they think before this board decides if it wants to move it to the selectmen. As you know, they're the people who set the actual fees. So if you think it's good, I'll try and set up some meetings and invite the public in and get some input.
Well, I looked at it and I thought it was well done.
Terrific. We'll
You know, I don't know
schedule
about
that.
the others. I'm
No,
not-
no,
I'm
no,
just-
it was well done.
You need one?
Yeah, I do.
Of course.
What do you think about, before we do that, if we get new members coming on board, should I have some integral part of that, or do you think want to leave it up to us, we three?
So we don't make the final decision. We would just be deciding to open it up to the public, and then, as I did before, I always come back with what the public tells me to you, and then we decide if we want to.
I think
So,
we should go right to the public then.
and then I'll bring it back to the board, and by then it will be a full board.
I thought it
So,
was complete.
terrific.
Good.
Also, at one of our last meetings, I don't remember who, I apologize, but someone did ask about the capital projects, probably Van. So I did print out for you all, it's in your packet, the community center, 100 Oak Street as it's listed, it does have in 2025, the replacement of 2 air conditioning heating units for the building. And in 2027, what a tongue twister. The generator and the roof will be replaced. So that's currently what we have on the capital plan. And when I spoke with Sean, he does not have something going in on this year.
So are you suggesting that these two will be on? For
They're
this
already
year?
on.
They're on.
They're on
These
and
two
gonna
are
go
on?
forward,
Okay,
yes.
good.
Yes. So I just wanted to get you up to date. And I know at our last meeting, we talked about Angie was the
Before you
chair.
go on, excuse me.
Sorry.
Were those two approved by
Yes, that,
someone?
they have been approved, that plan is approved, has been approved by
These two,
town meeting.
including these two?
Yes, I just broke down what was in
Okay,
there,
Okay.
but
thank you.
yes,
So they've already been approved?
correct.
Good, cool.
Yep.
Right.
The reorg of the committee, we do have, Angie, my recommendation to you is that you might want to wait until you have a full board. So
To discuss everything.
to just see who wants to take on.
Definitely.
You know, new people might have some great ideas and want to be on.
Yep, that's a
So-
good idea.
Exactly.
I will put that back on the agenda.
Sounds good.
The update regarding the facilities
Oh,
committee
sorry.
applicants.
Yep,
I enclosed in your packet the the select board's agenda. On that agenda, you will see that they have accepted the resignation. I highlighted for you as well. Under the consent agenda, they will be accepting the resignation of Brian Powers, which we certainly thank him for all his time and efforts on the committee. And under H, they have put forward the name of Chris Joyce to join the facilities committee, and also Heath Eldridge, two people who I think will be exceptional
Yeah,
on
two
this
great
committee.
people, yeah.
Great people,
Yeah.
so, and that will get us to a full board,
Good.
which will be fabulous.
Fabulous.
So this will happen on Monday night, so as soon as it goes through, I will reach out. They then, as you all know, have to get sworn in, take their
Right.
ethics, all those things, but I will make sure that happens and guide them through the way once it's been approved. But I wanted to update you on that as well.
do we send a thank you note out to Brian for all his services and time?
This is the first that it's official, so I will send
Do-
one,
okay.
and I can bring one for the board to
Yeah,
sign as
that would
well.
be nice, yeah, that would be nice.
Sure. The last thing that's in your packet, well, the last thing under new business
Yep.
is every quarter, the community center does their revolving fund report. So I saw no reason not to include it in your packet so that you are aware. The revolving fund, as you know, is for the weight room. So I have broken down exactly what we utilize the weight room money for, including things like I don't just write supplies. I'm telling you, we're buying wipes for the machines. I'll tell you anything you want to know about it. It's public knowledge. We're happy to share that information with anybody. So that is in your packet as well. And I do those 3 times a year, so I will keep including it every time it comes up. I'll make sure that you have the latest version of it.
Okay. Good. Next, director's update.
I'm going to do mine, and then if you don't mind, I'll have Reagan give you some
Okay,
information
that's
too.
okay, yeah.
So inside your packet, you have the new newsletter. And I am very excited that people are reaching out to us and asking to be part of the newsletter, which means that one, people are reading it, and two, they really want to be a part of it. Most recently, the health department. So they'll have a section in our newsletter, which I think is great. That's what we want to do, get the information out there. And I'm sure that you all remember, but when you were on the board, I did a little profile of each one of you. So when we get our 2 new members, they'll be profiled and put into the newsletter as well. So that's just my newsletter. The event updates, we do have the November 3rd, which is 2 nights, so 6 p.m., the Mad Science, Fire and Ice. And then we have the teen clothing swap. People are already dropping off clothes right now, and the actual event will be on November 9th. Then we're going to do our celebration for the Walktober event. That's on November 17th. And then our the military lecture, which is on November 21st, and that's going to be at 2:30. We're changing the times for those events.
What is that about, Carolyn?
Oh, go right ahead.
So the Cape Cod Military Museum reached out to us, actually. They came to the Sound Dunes concert, and it's a nonprofit that doesn't even have a physical location. They just travel around telling stories about Cape Cod military history, different wars, they try to line up their lectures with what's going on. Like this last one, they did bizarre and eerie stories during World War II. They're going to be doing the Great War next month, and it's just about an hour. A slideshow goes with it. It's very informative, but he tells a good story as well. So it captures everybody's attention. So his name is Joe. You look, I believe is how you say his last name. And it's phenomenal. And there's been a lot of interest. We're just trying to figure out the times and that's what Carolyn was speaking about. We did the first one at 5:30 thinking, families who are working or people who are working might want to come. But then you have the age group that might be interested that doesn't necessarily feel comfortable driving in the evening. So we're going to do the next one at 2:30 and see. And Joe is completely on board to shift times to do all 2:30 if that looks like it's going to be a better turnout, or all 5:30, or we can kind of play around with the times a little bit. But he comes, he sets everything up. It was great. He's good with his time, and like I said, he has a great slideshow. So
Do you know if he does all the wars? I mean, after the big war, does he do Korea and Vietnam and all?
Yes,
he does them all.
Yes,
Yeah.
all
The same
different
night?
topics. No,
nope.
No,
all
different
different.
nights.
Yes,
Different names, yeah.
and I will just say one of the things that we have been working on, Reagan's done a great job of, is really trying to market and reach out. So we have talked with Shawnee. We reached out to Barbara Ann Foley, who does this in the Hyannis area, and so we're trying to market our programs and get the word out there. Programs are no good if no one's coming to them. So we're going through the schools and in the newspapers and at the library and at the Chamber of Commerce and
How
anywhere we
about the VFW
can.
posts? Have you done-
I don't know if we reached
have you
out
done anything with
there.
them?
So
I didn't, but Joe said he had connections to the VFW.
Yeah, really?
who is that?
I'm
So-
a member of the VFW in Hyannis.
You didn't hear anything about
I
it?
haven't heard of it.
Okay.
So
great.
we'll make
I'm
sure
gonna
to reach
add
out.
that
Thanks.
to my list. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I'd like to know when he's doing the Korean War. I'd like to be there for that.
Terrific. We'll make sure we have the
'Cause
list up there.
I spent 14 months over there.
So,
I'd like to see what he says.
and that's the great part. People can
Yeah.
tell their
I
stories
think
too.
then the other one is in Dennis. Dennis is a VFW in Dennis
Okay.
as well.
I thought it went under, but there's the one.
They still, I
Chatham?
guess they still have a few things
Really?
going on over
Okay.
there. Yeah,
Chatham
it
is,
did.
Chatham's
Chatham.
active.
Chatham.
Chatham is
Yeah.
active.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Hyannis is still active. They had 450 members, but only 4 or 5 show up, unfortunately. Most of the older guys have passed on, you know.
It was actually there was quite a few that showed up, a young family.
Young family.
Yeah.
That's
And
nice.
I was
that they
very,
did, yeah.
it wasn't what I was expecting, and
Yeah,
they
me-
were very
yeah.
very
You
interested.
probably
and
get
it
the
was
kids from the Gulf War and so on coming.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
we're
great.
happy to try and do
Yeah.
programming for everyone.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really
Great.
what we want to do.
It's good.
so the last event that we have is the bingo. We are going to play bingo again. It's very popular and it's a lot of fun, so we'll try that. And then I was just going to if you are okay, just let Reagan do a little of the reflections of our events, and she can probably fill you in much more on the events themselves. So.
Okay, so October was busy. We had a lot going on. So the very first beginning of October, we kicked off our Community Step Challenge, Walktober Community Step Challenge. We had 62 people sign up to do it. And as far as I can tell, without speaking to each of those 62 people every day, there's been not a lot of people have dropped off. Like a lot of people are continuing. I get people checking in with me. I have people sending me pictures. I have been sending out a weekly newsletter to the 62 people that signed up, sharing like where we've walked, just trying to keep them engaged, because I do understand that life gets hectic and busy, but I thought maybe if I kept it up there in the forefront. So we're gonna end that with the celebration. That is not only gonna be for people who participated. Anybody that wants to come celebrate, anybody who walked can do it, but we are going to have special awards for people that did participate, and little participation, like water bottles. And so just thought that was a great way to kind of kick off the month, and without it being officially over yet, people are going to start handing in their stuff this weekend. So we'll see how many we get back. I'm looking forward to it. We did we did the Find the Cause breast cancer awareness talk. That was also very well received. We had, it was about a dozen people showed up, but very engaged and very interested in what she was speaking about, and a lot of questions. So that went very well. And then we did the open mic poetry reading, also went very well. The other really great thing about that was the age range. We had the youngest gentleman that got up was 6 years old and read one of his poems.
Oh, isn't that great?
There was a high school student there with her family, and then just all ages, and very supportive of each other. And I just kept saying it's just how much talent was just everywhere, like in the room. It was a great experience. So that was fun. We did the Clued In murder mystery. So we kind of took the board game Clue, and we livened it up and made it into a whole building scavenger hunt. It was something that you had to sign up for, and we filled up. So 12 people could sign up to do it. Unfortunately, not all the people that signed up showed up. So I learned a couple things during the process of organizing this. A lot of people that were not involved, and a lot of people that were involved asked to do it again. So we're going to do it again.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it so we can broaden it a little bit, maybe be able to include more people at once.
Right.
And then that way, if, there was a lot of things the first run that we learned. So it was great. And it was well received. It was well received. It was a fun night. Carolyn was here.
It was fun.
Yeah. And then, we did a movie night right around Halloween. We did Hocus Pocus. 60 people showed up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that show.
60 people showed up.
Yeah.
The multi-room was full.
Was it various ages?
Various ages, a lot of families. It seemed like a lot of little ones. So we had tables set up, but a lot of the little ones brought blankets and pillows and set up in the front, and their parents sat in the back. We had popcorn. And drinks and a little bit of candy. So that was a lot of fun. Then we did the boutique, which I don't remember how many years have you guys been doing the boutique?
Oh, we've been doing it probably 20 years.
We gave out 125 costumes.
Wow, great.
And I did hear a lot of people say as they were leaving, we wouldn't have been able to do this, get these costumes for our guys. So I think it helped a lot of families.
That's great.
We give them away free. What happens is we donate, or nice organizations help us purchase some of the costumes, and then we literally open a small little store, and they can come in, and everything's for free, and it is lovely to see the families shopping, and it's really a great event.
We had people that were watching us set up stop in and ask if they could help us set up. So
That's
people
great.
were volunteering to
Yeah,
help us
that's
get it all
nice.
set up for
Yeah.
the kids. That
Yeah.
was
That's awesome.
it was nice to see that too. So that brings us to the military museum talk. Again, that was the first of several, so we're gonna keep, thank you for the other names to advertise too. And the Halloween trick-or-treating, it was great. We gave out about 200 bags.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that.
Yep, we gave out
We
around
lost track, we don't know.
We did, and I think it lasted a little bit longer. It wasn't
Right.
like a big rush and then
Yeah,
done. It
yeah.
kind of, I don't want to say dragged, because it certainly didn't drag out, but it just spanned over a little
Yeah,
bit longer. I think the last people went through around 7:30.
Okay, yeah.
But I think I hit everything. Did I get everything, Carolyn?
I think so. But the last thing I will say is that a lot of our events couldn't be done without our volunteers, the
For
stuffing
sure.
the bags, the events, and we had an amazing group of volunteers. I know you're sitting here, so I won't embarrass both of you, but
We had
We had
it's
fun, right?
really a lot of what makes the building and our jobs work is the volunteers. And honestly, most of them have come back and said that they had a great time, and it was good to see. So we definitely appreciate all of the
My
people
little
who are.
95-year-old that I brought, she had a blast and wants to do it again.
I love that. Isn't that great?
95 years old.
That's what it's just great to see. And there was all ages and everyone helping, and
You know, I talked to you earlier today about the Halloween,
yes.
and, you know, again, I'm from the old time when we were going in the building. Why don't you explain to us again, so we all know why we're not doing what we did in the past?
So at the beginning, it was definitely COVID. It was, as you know, there was when COVID happened, we pivoted. And one of the things, some of you were here and saw, the building was more than chaotic, and I'm being kind. It was not a safe environment. Children would go missing inside the building, and I don't know about any of you, but that's not a feeling that's good for me. I understand I'm not a parent, but that feeling when someone comes to me and says, my child is not here, and then there was so many people, it was so chaotic, there was not enough room to maneuver everyone through the building safely. So some of the things that we talk about, and this is important for you to know, our process is always after the event, we keep notes and then we talk about what we can do better, or if the event that we're doing is still serving the purpose. This year, I know that there were several different events around town. My idea is not to do the same event as everyone else. If someone else is meeting that need, we can pivot and do something else that's not being done. So that's what we're going to look at. And maybe it's we have a costume parade, or maybe it's we'll think of what we need to do. We don't see anyone else doing the boutique, which was very clear to us. Those things
Good
will
idea.
need to stay. But is the going around getting candy the part that the community needs? And if it isn't, then we'll make a...
I actually think it is a good idea. I'm going to be honest with you, only because kids don't go trick-or-treating through the neighborhoods anymore.
Right.
For the fear. So coming to a community center is safe. You do feel safe as a parent.
But
Yeah.
what I mentioned to her earlier
Yeah.
today was that the kids are all dressed up in their costumes. We never had a chance to see them walk around.
Yeah,
or, You
yeah.
know, I never got to see the costumes
Right.
that the parents spend a great deal of time either buying or
Yeah.
making for the kids.
Sure.
I mean, they drove up. I mean,
Yeah.
it was my first experience, okay? I was used to being in the rec room
Right.
with Frank
Yeah.
and passing out candy and watching the kids and
Yeah.
wowing over their costumes and jostling with them and interacting with them and so on.
Sure.
I mean, the cars drove up, you
Yeah.
gave them a couple of bags of goodies.
Well-stocked candy.
Yeah.
Well-stocked.
Well-stocked goodies, so, bag
Yeah.
full of stuff, and
Yeah.
off they
Yeah.
drove. You never had a chance to truly talk with them or interact with them or congratulate them or commend them for looking so great. I just think we need to be more
Yeah.
inclusive that way. I guess it's from my own career as a school administrator and a teacher myself that I think that's good for the kids to be able to
Sure.
share their thoughts with them.
We'll have to kind of think about that. How do
Yeah.
you do it safely?
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
And
That's-
those are the
that's
things
that's
that we
the
look at
challenge.
and evaluate each time. So
Yeah.
we will do that, and we'll come
Maybe if
back.
we did, for example, just talking out loud here, if we did different hours for different age groups, or
It's hard when someone has a family and,
Yeah.
and one's
or do
in
it
one
on-
and
do
one.
it, do it over 2 days or 2 nights. Certain ages one night and certain ages another night. I don't know. Let's brainstorm it and see if we can come up with some unique and creative ways of
I don't know, this
getting
might
the
be a
kids
problem
back out
too.
there and watching them and so on safely.
Not everybody celebrates Halloween.
Right.
I know, like in the schools, it's a touchy.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
saying, it'd be hard to even have a parade through the
Yeah.
school and then
Right.
pick up
Well,
candy.
Fall festivals are fun, and if we can somehow include kids getting dressed up
Yeah.
and doing a little bit more of a celebration that the
Yeah.
whole community can get involved in, then
Yeah.
there's definitely different
It's
ways
a
of
challenge,
looking
no
at it.
question
It's a challenge, it's a challenge, yeah.
Your concerns are very valid. Safety is an issue, and
We like a challenge.
Yeah.
We're gonna,
Yeah.
we'll meet it head on and
Yeah.
we'll just keep evaluating.
The other thing too is the list of donors that we had this year
Great.
That was great.
fantastic, yeah.
a lot of people
They were
involved.
coming in
That's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
continuously,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yes. I do have one thing under other, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I had the opportunity to meet with, I apologize if I'm saying it wrong, I believe he was a deputy from the Barnstable County Sheriff's Office, and his name was Luke Carroll, Deputy Luke Carroll, I think. And they came to see, I guess they do a program, I'm gonna just refer to my notes because I don't want to say it wrong. They do a free program for 4 days over the February break, and they would like to have one of our classrooms. And this is for ages 12 to 16, and it's a little specialized training,
all
some
the future
education. There, maybe not, but that's not a. It's
Not a
maybe
bad
they
thing.
are, and so the reason I'm bringing this to you is because we do have the space available. They have asked for a fee waiver. God, I cannot talk today. And I know we do not make that decision, but I always like to have your input because it will go before the selectmen. So I don't know how you feel about it. As I said, we have it. It's during February break. It's for our children. Those are all things that matter to me.
What are they doing?
They're
exactly?
doing a class. They do a
Class on.
Policing.
A youth academy providing a supportive environment for children ages 12 to 16. They currently do a 4-week academy in the summer, but are looking to extend our reach and offer a shorter version for the week of February vacation. The collaborative effort brings together specially trained staff from corrections, education, police, treatment facilities, and a commitment to helping kids achieve important physical, emotional, and intellectual development goals. So it's really just a class. They are in the mornings. I think it ends by 1 o'clock. So
How many days?
4 days during February school vacation week.
What would the cost of that be, Carolyn, for 4 days if they had to pay? What would
So
it
if
cost?
they had to pay, it would be like the $45 a day. They would pay. So
we're waiving a couple $100 roughly.
right, it wouldn't be us. You're just deciding
Yeah,
if
right.
when the selectmen ask if you talked about it and felt the same, and you are free to say no, yes, but I like to have the
Now,
information.
how are they gonna get the kids? They're gonna try to.
They are going to provide. They have a whole outreach
Outreach
program, and they work very closely with the schools. He told me to see if they know of kids that might need a program or are looking for something
I think
to
we
do.
should ask the selectmen if they would waive
Over
the fee. I
February
think it's a
vacation.
worthwhile
Yeah,
I
I
would
would
agree
too.
with
I'd
that,
give it a
yeah.
shot. I would.
Yeah.
As long as you're all, I
Maybe you can spur
Don't have
some
a vote,
interest in
but-
some of these kids to go into the law enforcement. Who knows?
sure.
Yeah.
And I think anything we can do for our
Yeah.
young
It's
adults.
it's another
it's a
young,
good
another
age
group
group
that we
yeah.
can hit. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that was the only other thing I had
did a
on
good
mine.
Carolyn, did we not cancel out the December meetings in the past because of Christmas holidays and so on? Did we do that last year?
I can't remember.
I think
now
one
to
of the
remember.
times I was in the past, I think we we eliminated one of the meetings somewhere. Was it for Christmas or November, Thanksgiving?
You
or
did,
what?
you eliminate one in the
Summertime, yeah.
summertime, but
Yeah.
I don't remember a
Okay,
December one.
maybe my
And
recollection.
this, I wouldn't recommend eliminating the December one, because
This
we're
is
finally
right.
gonna have a full board.
Yeah.
And
So
is it
let's get
stay-
those people in there.
Yeah.
Are we
Right,
staying at
full
1
time.
o'clock now?
So I think that you should set a time for the December meeting, and then when you get a full board, maybe you
Okay.
should discuss, I'll put that on the agenda, a date and time. So December one at 1
Would you
or,
like to stay at 1 o'clock for December 1st or
Sounds
go
good to
back?
me,
So,
yeah.
okay. And then I'll put on your agenda discussing the date and time that you'd
So our
like to
new
run a
folks will
meeting.
be with us in
Yeah.
December then.
Yes, yes, which is very exciting news. And that is everything that I had. How'd I do on time?
That's
Doing
good.
perfect.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
Okay.
And now the pickleball courts.
Does
now,
anybody
Ralph.
have anything they want to say before we go? Ralph?
I don't, no, I'm all
Happy
set.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
to all you and your
Thanksgiving.
family.
Thank you.
All as well,
Happy
thank you.
Thanksgiving? Okay,
I didn't mean to break up the meeting, I just have to
Motion.
go.
No,
motion to adjourn?
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second?
Vote?
Very good, thank you, guys.
thank you all so
Thank you.
much.
Happy
I love
holidays.
these quick meetings,
Very
Carol.
efficient.
Happy holidays to
Happy
everyone.
holidays.